Did you know that in 2025, you could be fined for writing a fake review, blocked from content you've always had access to, or even lose your job because of new immigration rules, all without changing anything on your end? That's not a scare tactic. It's the reality of a wave of new UK laws that are coming into effect this year. Some of these changes have already started quietly rolling out, while others are set to shake the foundations of how we work, live, and interact online. From your personal data being used in ways you never agreed to massive shifts in public ethics, employment rights, and online safety, these new laws go far beyond the headlines. They're the kind of changes that don't just affect politicians or big companies. They reach every UK household, no matter your age, job, or income. In this video, we're breaking down 10 major UK laws that are either already in effect or coming soon, each one with the power to impact your daily life. Some are exciting, some controversial, and others downright unsettling. So stay with me, because what you don't know about 2025's legal changes might surprise you, or even cost you. Number 1. Immigration Rule Shakeup. The UK's immigration system is undergoing one of its biggest overhauls in years, and it's already causing major waves across industries and communities. From 2025, the bar is being raised for skilled worker visas. Jobs that used to qualify under the old system, like care workers and hospitality staff, are now being pushed out of the eligible list. The minimum salary threshold has jumped significantly, now requiring most foreign workers to earn over £38,700 to qualify for a visa. That's a huge leap from the previous average of just under £27,000. For many businesses, especially in healthcare, hospitality, and logistics, this means losing access to a workforce they've long relied on. But it's not just companies feeling the pressure. Everyday people will be affected too. If you're applying for a job in the UK from abroad, or even switching roles within the country, your career path might hit a legal dead end. Families who are planning to reunite may now face stricter financial requirements. And for UK-born citizens, this could mean longer wait times at hospitals, fewer care workers, and disruptions in everyday services. These laws are designed to reduce net migration numbers, but the ripple effect might be felt in every corner of society, from the corner shop to the care home. What's more, there's a real sense of urgency here. These changes weren't phased in gently. Many took effect as early as summer 2025, with more to follow by the end of the year. If you're an employer, now is the time to reassess your hiring strategy. If you're a worker or graduate planning your move to the UK, double-check the new occupation list. One rule change could mean the difference between building a future or being turned away at the border. Number 2. Your data, their rules. In 2025, the UK passed a sweeping new law called the Data, Use and Access Act, and it's quietly changing how your personal information is collected, stored, and shared. At first glance, it sounds like just another government regulation, but the reality is much deeper. This law introduces a concept called recognized legitimate interests, which gives businesses more freedom to use your data without asking for consent every time. That includes things like tracking your behavior online, analyzing your habits, or even using AI to make decisions about you, all under the claim of business necessity. What does that actually mean for you? Well, expect to see fewer cookie pop-ups, but also less control over who's tracking your activity. Websites and apps might now use your data in ways you didn't explicitly agree to, and you might not even know it's happening. Automated decisions, like whether you're offered a loan or flagged for fraud, could now be made with less human oversight. It's a subtle shift, but a powerful one, as companies get more wiggle room and the line between convenience and privacy becomes blurrier than ever. While the government argues that this reduces red tape and supports innovation, privacy advocates warn it opens the door to silent surveillance. So, what can you do about it? First, check your privacy settings on the websites and platforms you use. Many still allow some level of control. Second, pay close attention to any changes in terms and conditions. They might be using this new law to justify broader data use. And finally, start thinking critically about what information you share online, even casually. Because in 2025, your data isn't just yours anymore, it's a resource, and everyone wants a piece of it. Number 3. online safety gets stricter. The internet may feel like the Wild West at times, but in 2025, the UK is tightening the reins with serious updates to the Online Safety Act. And this time, the focus is on protecting children and vulnerable users like never before. Platforms that allow user-generated content, including social media, gaming apps, and video sharing sites, are now legally required to enforce strict age verification systems. That means if a child tries to access inappropriate or harmful content, the platform must be able to block it or face hefty penalties. The law doesn't just ask platforms to try their best, it demands proactive protection, using AI tools, moderation teams, and transparent policies. This shift is already causing big changes. Some popular websites and services have started introducing age assurance methods, which may include ID checks, biometric scans, or even AI-driven age estimation from selfies. While this sounds like a good thing on the surface, it's also raising some concerns. Will these systems store your facial data? Could your private information be misused in the name of safety? The government says strong privacy protections are in place, but critics argue we're trading one risk for another. And let's not forget the creators. Many are now seeing their content restricted or demonetized if it's deemed too risky for younger viewers, even when it's educational or artistic. For the average user, especially parents and teenagers, this means big adjustments. Parents should be more involved in their children's digital habits, and teens may face unexpected blocks or limitations on platforms they've used for years. If you're a content creator or run a digital platform, now's the time to review your policies, because failing to comply could lead to fines, bans, or even legal action. In short, the UK internet is growing up fast, and not everyone's ready for the change. Number 4. Worker Rights Overhaul. In 2025, the UK government is rolling out major changes to how employees are treated, and these updates could completely reshape your job, whether you're working full-time, part-time, or on a zero-hour contract. Under the new Employment Rights Bill, workers are gaining stronger protections in areas like pay transparency, predictable working hours, and the right to request flexible work from day one. This bill isn't just about tweaking the fine print. It's about rebalancing power between employers and employees, especially in sectors where job security has always been shaky. One of the standout changes is aimed at zero-hour contracts and gig economy roles. Employers are now required to give workers more predictable schedules and fairer notice before cancelling shifts. Holiday pay, sick leave, and other benefits are being clarified and, in many cases, expanded. This means no more being left in the dark about when you'll work next week or wondering if you're entitled to time off. For millions of UK workers, especially in retail, hospitality, and delivery services, these changes could finally offer the consistency and respect that's long been missing. But with new rights come new responsibilities. Businesses must now stay compliant or face legal consequences, and that means rewriting contracts, retraining managers, and potentially facing more employee disputes. If you're a worker, take the time to understand your updated rights, because you may be entitled to protections you didn't have last year. And if you're an employer, start adapting now before these laws catch you off guard. Whether you're clocking into a job or managing a team, the rules of the working world are shifting, and everyone will need to adjust to stay ahead. This isn't just policy, it's a cultural reset for the UK's workforce. Number 5. Crackdown on hidden fees and fake reviews. If you've ever booked a hotel or ordered something online, only to see the final price shoot up at checkout, you're not alone. And in 2025, the UK government has finally stepped in to stop it. Under new consumer protection laws, including updates to the Digital Markets, Competition and Consumers Act, businesses are now banned from hiding extra charges behind small print or last-minute add-ons. Whether it's a service fee, handling charge, or a surprise subscription, companies must now display the full cost upfront, clearly and honestly. It's a move aimed at stopping misleading pricing tactics that have cost UK consumers an estimated £2.2 billion a year. But that's not the only trick being tackled. The law is also cracking down hard on fake online reviews, a major source of misinformation and manipulation in the digital marketplace. From now on, it's illegal to post fake reviews or pay others to do it, especially when the goal is to boost a product or damage a competitor's reputation. Platforms like Amazon, TripAdvisor, and Trustpilot are now under pressure to prove their reviews are genuine. If they don't clean up their systems, they risk massive fines and loss of consumer trust. So how does this affect you? For one, your online shopping experience should feel a lot more honest. The price you see should now be the price you pay. No more shockers at checkout. And when you're checking out reviews before making a decision, you can be a bit more confident that what you're reading is real. Still, it's wise to stay alert. Look for verified purchases and avoid deals that seem too good to be true. In this new landscape, smart shoppers will win, and shady sellers will finally be held accountable. Before we dive into the next law, take a second to let us know in the comments, which of these changes would affect your life the most? We spend hours researching and creating these videos so you don't have to. So if you're finding value here, hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it keeps this channel going. Number 6. Ethics reform in government. In a bold move to restore public trust, the UK government is undergoing a sweeping ethics reform in 2025, one that will change how politicians are held accountable. The long-standing watchdog known as a COBA, Advisory Committee on Business Appointments, is being scrapped and replaced with a new, Independent Ethics and Integrity Commission. This shift comes after years of scandals, where former ministers took high-paying private sector jobs just months after leaving office, raising serious concerns about conflicts of interest and backdoor deals. The new commission will have more power, stricter rules, and greater transparency, especially when it comes to post-ministerial employment and misconduct. But it doesn't stop there. Under this new framework, ministers who are removed from office for misconduct will no longer be entitled to severance pay, a change that many see as long overdue. In the past, even those forced to resign over ethics violations walked away with thousands in taxpayer-funded payouts. The reform aims to send a clear message: bad behavior in public office won't be rewarded. It's also expected to introduce mandatory waiting periods before ex-ministers can accept roles in sectors related to their former responsibilities, closing the revolving door between politics and big business. For the average citizen, this might feel like something that happens behind closed doors, but the truth is, it matters more than ever. These changes will shape the integrity of decision-making in government, affect how policies are created, and determine whether politicians truly serve the public good or personal interests. While no system is perfect, this reform gives people a reason to pay attention again. It's about cleaning house, raising standards, and rebuilding a political culture where power is earned, not exploited. And in 2025, that's a change the public has been waiting for. Number 7. Planning power shift. In 2025, the UK government has introduced major changes to the country's planning laws, and they could reshape the look and feel of your local community faster than ever before. With the new Infrastructure and Planning Reform Bill, ministers now have more authority to overrule local councils on key planning decisions. That means housing developments, infrastructure projects, and even controversial land use changes can move forward without waiting for months or years of local debate. The goal, according to the government, is to cut red tape and speed up national development, but critics say it comes at the cost of local democracy. This shift gives central government the power to issue what are called holding directions, effectively freezing local council decisions if they're seen as blocking nationally important projects. If your town has resisted new housing estates or commercial builds, those decisions could now be overturned from the top. And with growing pressure to address the UK's housing shortage and build green energy infrastructure, this power is expected to be used frequently. While it may reduce delays, many communities feel their voice is being drowned out in the name of progress. So what can local residents do? Start by staying informed, monitor local planning applications and national development announcements closely. If you're part of a community group, prepare for faster timelines and fewer opportunities for appeal. The balance is shifting from neighbourhood councils to central offices in Whitehall, and the effects could be dramatic. That quiet green space down the road? It could soon be a building site. Whether you see that as progress or a problem, one thing is clear. In 2025, planning decisions are no longer just local issues. They're national priorities, and the clock is ticking faster than ever. Number 8. Assisted dying legalized. In a historic and emotionally charged shift, the UK Parliament has passed the Assisted Dying Bill in 2025, making it legal for terminally ill, mentally competent adults to seek medical help in ending their lives. The law applies to those diagnosed with less than 6 months to live and includes strict safeguards such as mandatory psychological assessments, multiple independent approvals, and a 14-day reflection period. This is one of the most controversial changes of the year, touching on deep questions of morality, personal freedom, and the role of healthcare in end-of-life decisions. Supporters call it a compassionate step forward, giving dignity and choice to those suffering. Opponents warn of the risks of abuse, misjudgment, and the potential for pressure on vulnerable individuals. This isn't just a policy for politicians or doctors, it affects families across the country. For the first time, patients with terminal conditions can legally request medication to end their lives on their terms. For loved ones, this means facing incredibly complex conversations about timing, consent, and emotional readiness. Healthcare professionals are also navigating a new legal and ethical landscape. While participation is voluntary, many are grappling with the moral weight of being involved in the assisted dying process. The NHS is preparing new training and protocols to handle these cases with sensitivity and legal accuracy. If you or someone you know is living with a terminal illness, it's important to understand the legal process and your rights under this new law. Discuss options with medical professionals, explore palliative care alternatives, and consider counseling for yourself and your family. This law doesn't force anyone to choose death, but it does give people a legal, regulated path to do so if they believe it's the right choice for them. In 2025, the UK has officially joined a growing global movement, one where choice at the end of life is no longer a crime. Number 9. Big Tech faces new limits. In 2025, the UK government has taken a bold stand against digital monopolies by targeting one of the most powerful tech platforms on the planet, Google Search. Under the new powers granted by the Digital Markets, Competition and Consumers Act, the Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, has officially designated Google as having strategic market status. This means the tech giant must now follow stricter rules to ensure fair competition and user choice. The CMA can now force Google to introduce search engine choice screens, improve transparency in how results are ranked, and make it easier for users to move their data to competing services. This isn't just about regulating big business, it's about changing the digital experience for everyday users. If you've ever wondered why certain results always appear first in Google, or why it's so hard to switch to a different service, this new regulation is designed to fix that. The government wants to prevent Google from using its dominance to unfairly promote its own products or services while pushing others out of view. And for smaller search engines and tech startups, this levels the playing field, giving them a real chance to compete for attention and users. As a user, you'll start noticing some changes soon. You might see new options when you set up a device or perform a search, asking you which search engine or browser you prefer. You'll also have more control over how your personal data is shared between platforms. While these changes might seem small on the surface, they mark a turning point in the way tech giants are held accountable. In 2025, digital power is no longer unchecked, and the UK is sending a clear message. The era of self-regulated tech empires is over. Number 10. AI tools under criminal watch. In response to growing concerns about the misuse of artificial intelligence, the UK government has introduced one of its most hard-hitting tech laws yet in 2025. A direct crackdown on AI-generated child abuse material. Under new legislation, it is now a criminal offense to create, possess, or distribute AI tools designed to produce child sexual abuse imagery, or even to share manuals and instructions on how to do so. This move comes after a disturbing rise in the use of generative AI to create highly realistic, synthetic images that evade traditional detection systems. While the tech behind these tools can be used for harmless purposes, in the wrong hands, it's become a weapon of exploitation, and lawmakers are no longer looking the other way. The law doesn't stop at content creators. Developers, distributors, and even casual users who possess or share these tools, knowingly or not, can now face serious criminal charges. This places a new level of responsibility on software platforms, file-sharing sites, and tech communities to monitor how their tools are being used. It also forces developers to implement tighter controls, transparency logs, and abuse reporting systems within AI platforms. There's a growing expectation that companies not only monitor the end use of their technology, but also actively prevent it from being misused from the outset. For ordinary users, this law sends a loud and clear message: AI is not a free-for-all anymore. If you're developing or experimenting with generative tools, you must know exactly what your software is capable of, and ensure it can't be weaponized for harm. While the tech world often celebrates innovation, 2025 marks a clear shift toward ethical boundaries and accountability. The digital future is still wide open, but now, there are firm legal lines that no one can afford to cross. As you've just seen, 2025 isn't just another year, it's a turning point. From the way we work and protect our data, to how we interact online, navigate public spaces, and even make life or death decisions, the UK is undergoing some of its most dramatic legal changes in decades. And these aren't just political headlines. They're real-world shifts that will affect your job, your privacy, your rights, and your family. Whether you're an employee, a parent, a business owner, or just someone trying to keep up with this fast-changing world, staying informed isn't optional anymore, it's essential. What makes these laws so significant is how deeply personal they are. They're not locked away in some legal document. They'll show up in your inbox, your bank account, your news feed, and your everyday life. Some will protect us. Others may feel restrictive. But all of them demand our attention. Because the more we understand the rules that govern us, the more empowered we are to navigate them, or challenge them when needed. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these new laws shocked you the most? Which one do you agree or disagree with? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice could spark a powerful conversation. And if you found this video helpful or eye-opening, please support us. We pour hours of research and editing into every video to bring you the most valuable insights. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel. It takes just one click, but it means the world to us and helps us keep making content that matters.